for many decades, the state of Pakistan and successive governments of Pakistan forgot about Kashmir. They put Kashmir on the back burner. If you look at General Zia's time, where there was a military dictator, and we normally assume that the military puts a lot of priority on Kashmir, but hardly anything happened. Kashmir was put on the back burner during that time. And if you remember, General Zia offered a no-war pact to India and so on. And successive governments since then didn't bother. But the problem is whether Pakistan or the Pakistani states forgets about Kashmir. Every time the people of Kashmir rise up against Indian oppression and they recommence, as it were, the struggle for self-determination in a new form, Kashmir does and will define the parameters of the Pakistan-India relationship. So, if for no other reason, even pragmatism demands that Pakistan and the Pakistani government and the Pakistani state push for the resolution of the issue of Kashmir on the principle of self-determination, which is not only one of the principles of the UN Charter, but which this right of self-determination has been reaffirmed by a number of UN Security Council resolutions. From a pragmatic, realistic point of view, the Pakistani state has no other option but to move and continue to push for the right of self-determination of the Kashmiri people. And this reality, I think, needs to constantly be hammered in to the successive governments that have come in power in Pakistan and have tried to evade or sort of circle around the issue of Kashmir. Resistance has many dimensions. Resistance is not just fighting the enemy with guns or stones. Resistance is a people's expression, and that people's expression is not only at the political level, it comes through across the board. So therefore a culture of resistance must be propagated more and more. I am sure within occupied Kashmir there is art and there are writings and there's poetry and novels or whatever, but it hasn't come out. Does that mean that the Indian repression and control of occupied Kashmir is so great? Well, if it is, then we have to counter that. We have to ensure that the voice of the Kashmiri people is heard. The other piece of propaganda that one is always hearing about Kashmir is that people are, this whole thing that somehow or the other the struggle in occupied Kashmir is all being conducted by people who are crossing over from Pakistan. Let me put logically to you that no struggle can survive unless it is indigenously based. Nothing was achieved by these Kashmir committees that various parliaments have formed from both houses. And that is the sad, unfortunate part. We pay lip service, but we don't go beyond that. I think the Pakistani people have to decide once and for all. Are we going to go and genuinely give support to the Kashmiri people and their right for self-determination? Not for altruistic reasons, for selfish reasons. It's in our own security interest, its own self-interest that we need to support the Kashmiri people. Even if we don't have any element of humane consideration, or if Pakistanis have no interest in human rights, for our own selfish security, prosperity of Pakistan reasons, these should be enough to guide us and to make sure that we support the fight for the struggle of self-determination. And I agree with them, it's not a matter of hating anyone. You don't hate people, you disagree and you reject policies of states. I mean, I am extremely critical of the US. It doesn't mean I hate the American people. The American people don't even know half the time what their state is up to. But yes, I absolutely reject the policies of the American state because I feel they're by and large anti-Pakistan. And that is my right. And in the same way, this whole Indian Aman Ka Tamasha, Aman Ki Asha, which has become Aman Ka Tamasha. Look what happened to all those who support this, movement of people and free trade. What happens? The Mikhail Ahmed band, latest casualty of India's love for Pakistan. He goes to perform in India. Before that, Rahat Fateh Ali went, they can make a lot of money, so they'll perform, and of course it's supposed to be improving relations between people to people. Well, I don't think that the people of India were very nice to the Mikhail Hassan band. So maybe they will realize the difference. People to people contacts are all very well, but at the end of the day, state policies define relations between states, including between neighbors. You can't have the Indian state repressing the people of Kashmir through military occupation, doing covert operations in Pakistan, and expect that people-to-people relations will flourish and all issues will disappear. Unfortunately, our media has a very strange role in all this. Some years ago, there was a big conference for the first time in India where all the leftist parties, all the liberal parties had a conference on Kashmir in New Delhi. I think you remember it was 2010, I think, or maybe even earlier. They had a conference on Kashmir where they supported the right of self-determination of the Kashmiri people. The APHC leadership also participated in it. I did not see a single news item of that conference or the findings or the resolutions in any Pakistani newspaper at all. Even today, if you look at the newspapers, there is hardly anything about what happened to the Mikhail Hassan band. It's been quashed, the story. Why? Why is our media so hesitant to present the real picture of India and the real picture of what is happening? We do all that is humanly possible for us to do to get the Kashmiris to achieve their right of self-determination. That is the very least that the Kashmiri people can demand from us. It is their right to demand that from Pakistan. And it is our obligation to fulfill or to ensure that that right is fulfilled and that the Kashmiris will get their right of self-determination. We cannot afford to abandon the people of Kashmir in their hour of need, especially when they're sacrificing generation after generation and facing the almighty wrath of the Indian state and its powerful military. I think the time has come for Pakistan to get over its confidence deficit or whatever the state is suffering from and be assertive on Kashmir. We are morally right, we are legally right, we are politically right. And therefore, I think that the time has come to again take up the cause of Kashmir in a substantive and a committed fashion, not just paying lip service on these various occasions that are organized. Thank you very much.